Why are these coaches and athletic directors not calling up Greg Sankey and the scheduling office saying, whoa, 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 why are you putting so many top 15 teams on our schedule? We're going to lose 4 games next year, and we're going to be left out of the college football playoff. And you know what the scheduling office is going to say? Well, you voted them in. Do you know what South Carolina, Alabama, and Ole Miss's combined out-of-conference record was in 2024?
It takes me a while.
Undefeated.
I was going to say close to 1 loss.
Undefeated. So tell me why Greg Byrne, the AD at Alabama, Shane Beamer at South Carolina, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, et cetera, are out there complaining about their strength of schedule being too difficult, and we're just going to schedule softer in the out-of-conference. We're not going to schedule Wisconsin anymore. We're not going to schedule Duke anymore. We're not going to schedule tough teams out of conference anymore. You went undefeated. What you did in out-of-conference this year has no bearing whatsoever on why your teams are not in the college football playoff. And they're saying to themselves, well, we got to schedule wins. We got to schedule wins to make sure that we can get into the playoff. But you didn't lose any of those games. Like, you're mad at the wrong thing.
Beamer, I understand his point. He said inconsistencies of what's important is the biggest problem. Then he went on to talk about when he was also mentioning the schedule. He said injuries were a factor. Last year, Florida State got left out. I know there were only 4 teams compared to 12, but apparently injuries weren't a factor this season when you look at quarterback situation when he gets hurt. The strength of schedule, it is what it is. You can't change, to your point, you can't change the conference games. You can't change who you play and you know what year you play Georgia compared to what year you don't.
So what you're really mad at, Shane, Greg, Lane Kiffin, you're mad that your conference schedule is too hard. You're mad that there's inconsistency in the strength of schedule within your own conference. Well, you guys voted to let Texas and Oklahoma in. You guys voted to let powerhouses into your conference. I told you this years ago before you even got into this situation, that you were going to have to get used to losing a couple more games more than what you're used to losing. You know, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
If you keep putting the best possible teams in your conference that you can, not everybody can go 8-0 in a conference slate. It is mathematically impossible.
I think, Diesel, what the committee set, the precedent that the committee set was less about strength of schedule and more about number of wins and number of losses as well.
That's your problem. You think there's precedent. There's no precedent here.
No, I think the precedent they're setting this year is what I'm saying.
But that's the committee has never said, here's precedent and here's how we're going to do things going forward. It's always been, we can change these rules whenever we want to. There's no such thing as precedent. And so many people keep getting hung up on this word precedent when that doesn't exist.
No, I think you're not hearing what I'm saying. Going forward, I think there will be precedent that if you lose 3 games, there's no way you get in. They showed that this year, that Clemson's the only team in the playoff that's lost 3 games, and the only reason they're in is because they won their conference. I think the number of wins and losses is more important than strength of schedule. I think you'll continue to see year after year that if you go 10-2, you're in 12-team playoff. I don't know when it expands to 16, yeah, whatever. But if you go 10-2, I think every year, Diesel, if you're 10-2 and you play excluding Army or Navy, you play the schedule that matters, you're going to be in. If you lose 3 games, I don't know that you'll see a 3-loss team in the postseason unless they're in a conference champions.
So then why are these coaches and athletic directors not calling up Greg Sankey and the scheduling office as soon as the season is done and saying, whoa, why are you putting so many top 15 teams on our schedule? This is not fair. We're going to lose 4 games next year, and we're going to be left out of the college football playoff. And you know what the scheduling office is going to say? Well, you voted them in.
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win the game.
You got to play somebody.
Yeah, you do. And I'm not giving them an out.
If you had half a brain, you would have said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to invite Duke. They're terrible at football. They're a sacrificial lamb. We're all going to beat Duke, but they're going to make us look really good in basketball. It's flawed logic to say we are intentionally going to make our out-of-conference schedules weaker.
Yeah.
When you didn't lose any out-of-conference games this year at all three of you combined, so that we lose fewer games. You're not losing out-of-conference games.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You're none of you are playing juggernaut out-of-conference schedules anyway. Like, how much weaker can it get?